Amazing. It's fucking working, Doug.
Oh my fucking Christ. It only took us an hour and 24 minutes to figure it out.
Oh my God. So sorry you fucking dealt with this shit.
It's like
my Lord.
It's like a bad prog record that we had to sit through.
Yeah. Like, or 72 seasons. It's about that long.
Who actually sat through all of that?
I did. On the Wayfarer tour, they fucking made me. It was terrible. It was like traumatic. Let me put on. I lost my fucking glasses, so I only got my sunglasses. But let me put those on so I can see your beautiful face. And we'll get this shit going. I am shocked. I am shocked that this is happening. I can't believe that this is actually happening now.
After a certain point, I was thinking, all right, I'm not letting this bullshit defeat us.
Yeah,
I'm not
doing it. You're a stronger man than I, sir. I'm going to be defeated. I was willing to be defeated. You know, I'm going to take these fucking headphones out now. And can you still hear me?
Yeah.
All right, sick. Cool. All right, yeah. So I can plug this shit in, so it won't die on me while we're fucking doing this. So I had a couple things that I definitely wanted to talk about. Really important topics of conversation, like why the fuck you're so wrong and what your favorite Metallica song is.
Sure.
Like, what is it about Creeping Death, man, that just gives you the good feeling?
I think everything about it is like perfect. I think the riff is perfect.
Okay.
It's one of those riffs that's kind of so dumb that it's like, why didn't I think to do this? But I mean, but there is a heavy, brutal aspect to it because James's right hand is so fucking.
James might have the best right hand like ever.
Period.
Yeah.
Whose right hand is better as far as
I can't think of anybody, dude. Like, honestly, because like dude, like speed demons these days, they're not like down picking like that,
I've seen a couple other guys who can down pick really well. I think the guy in Decapitated.
Vogue, yeah, he's really good.
That guy can down pick.
But was he a shitty rapist, or was he not part of that whole ordeal?
I don't know. I don't like that band. I just remember seeing a video years ago, and he was just fucking ripping his on his right hand.
I thought that band ruled when they were children, like when they were literally kids recording like their first two albums or so. They're fucking awesome. And luckily, none of those dudes were in the band when they became a shitty band with bad people. So
yeah, fucking dude, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's amazing. But no, I did actually kind of want to pick your brain like a little bit about that because it's probably I would say it's like my fourth favorite song on that album.
I mean, you're not in the wrong there if that's your opinion, because there's fucking almost every song on that record is incredible.
Yeah, except for Escape.
Escape is good.
Escape is good in the 33 RPM version of Ride the Lightning, which I fucking love, by the way, if you've never heard it. It's crushing.
Wait, is it 33 or is it's like the 45 RPM version that they put out and then you put it at 33?
Exactly. Yeah, so like James Hetfield sounds like fucking Peter Steele, Danzig clone. Yeah. It's just brutal. But they sound really tight. Like, for like having it slowed down and whatever, where you can hear things aren't exactly in the pocket. They sound pretty fucking good, man. Like Lars sounds great.
He's a great drummer.
I think so. I don't think he's a great drummer these days,
No,
but
he's
I
not.
think he's been a great drummer.
I mean, have you ever heard the story? I don't know how fucking true this is, but when Lombardo was kicked out of Slayer in like 86, 87, and this is like fly on the wall conjecture
Yeah,
hearsay.
yeah.
But,
I feel
but
you.
apparently, like the idea was tossed around between a drunk Cliff Burton and a drunk James Hetfield of getting Lombardo to play drums for
Oh,
them.
dude. Oh my god, can you imagine?
It would be awesome, but also like it wouldn't be the same.
It wouldn't. Like, yeah, Lars has certain ticks that greatly informed my playing for sure. Like certain jagged over the bar fills that Lombardo doesn't do and stuff like that. There's things I've stolen from that dude. It's like numerous what I've stolen. It's so ingrained in me, I don't even know I'm stealing it. You know what I mean?
I steal all kinds of shit from him.
Yeah.
There's John Theodore from Queens of the Stone Age.
Okay. I don't know who the drummer is now.
The dude that was in the Mars Volta for a little while.
Okay.
Anyway, he has a really good answer to a question where he says, "What's his two favorite drummers, Lars Ulrich and Ringo Starr?" Because
Huh.
they always did things that you would never expect a drummer to do.
I dig that. Who are your guys? If you have to pick two.
Two?
Yeah.
I
We'll
mean,
go with two.
Bonham, obviously.
Okay. All right. Fair.
And if I have to go with only two, then I guess probably the other would be Gene Hoglan.
That's a great answer, man. He's up there for me. My two would be Lombardo and Brian Downey.
That's Brian Downey.
Such a sick motherfucker.
I've a love-hate relationship with him. We used to do The Boys Are Back in Town in my dad's cover band for years.
Uh-huh.
And the skip he does on the hi-hat in the chorus.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Boys Are Back in Town.
Yep. That shit's not easy at all.
It's fucking not easy.
Yeah.
And you have to do it with your right, like you got your right hands to be tight.
No, you have to do the shuffle.
You're shuffling and then getting the hi-hat to be just right. As a fucking like an 8-year-old, I could not do it. And my dad,
well, yeah,
my dad
dude,
like,
you were
you
fucking
sure
8 years old.
Huh?
You were fucking 8 years old.
I know. My dad was like, you got to make sure you do that. That's an important part of the song. I'm like, fuck you. I can't fucking do that. I'm 8, asshole.
By the way, that picture of you with your glorious mullet and a headset mic as a fucking infant playing drums is one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life.
I probably played fucking Boys Are Back in Town that night.
Dude, that's so sick. There's I'm seeing signs in this practice space for a band called Thick Lizzy, which, like, first of all, they stole my fucking idea that I never spoke out loud. The sons of bitches. Second of all, if they're not a fucking cover band, I'm gonna be furious. Third of all, if they are the cover band, they should let me curate their set. It's only right.
What are you on, like all Johnny the Fox?
Man, I definitely do Johnny from that album.
Yeah.
That song rules. Massacre for fucking sure. You got to do Black Rose. You got to do Emerald. Fuck, man, there's so many. Got to give it up. I do.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I
love Cowboy Song, even though it's
Cowboy Song, the live and dangerous version of Cowboy Song is definitely one of my favorite Thin Lizzy songs.
Well, all of the live and dangerous versions are better.
That's true. Do you ever watch, there's a bunch of documentaries floating around YouTube of Thin Lizzy, but there's this one where they're like, the guy who produced it is talking about, like, well, Phil came in and he's like, I want to fix that. And he's like, okay. And then he's like, and then Scott Gorham came in and he's like, well, if Phil could fix it, I want to fix it. And then Robbo was like, well, if Scott could fix it, I want to fix it. And then it cuts to Brian Downey. He's like, I didn't change a fucking thing.
He's a bad man.
He's a bad man. Also, his story with, like, he's like, yeah, all the other fellas were getting into heroin, but I couldn't play on it, so I didn't do it.
Yeah. Got to respect that devotion.
Yeah, man. But yeah, so I don't really have all that much like particular shit I wanted to talk about, but my interest in doing this is like talking to my favorite drummers about their experiences drumming and like how it informs their fucking life and neuroses and all that kind of shit. You know what I mean?
All right, but before we get too far away from that, I
Yeah.
actually was going to text you the other day
Okay.
because I listened to Seasons of the Abyss all the way through,
Oh yeah.
which I haven't done in a while.
Yeah.
And man, Lombardo's playing on that whole record. I think that's kind of his zenith
Yeah.
because I mean, there's still a lot of fast songs, but there's enough like slower to mid tempo stuff to where it lets him stretch out a little bit.
For sure.
And fucking every fill in Expendable Youth is like money.
Dude, he's like
He's doing so
he's
much
so good
cool
at a certain kind
creative
of
shit. It's like
yeah.
everything he does. It's almost like a Ringo Larsy, except a little bit cleaner and more technical. Like he's doing weird shit, but it's
Yeah.
fucking tasteful.
Yeah.
Like all
For
these
sure, man.
weird fills with cymbal grabs in the middle of them and shit.
Yeah, yeah, that's just rules. My favorite Lombardo fill though is definitely not that record, but South of Heaven, Ghosts of War. That like
Yeah, it sounds like a race car starting and getting ready to just fucking take off.
Perfect, exactly. So fucking badass. That's a guy who like he was my hero when I was 12, and then like I learned about death metal, and I'm like, oh, these guys are way faster. And then I kind of saw how they actually played the drums versus how Lombardo plays the drums, and he became my hero again. It still is.
He's the shit, and he's just gotten better.
Yeah, man. He's just ridiculous. He's still cooking.
Yeah, no, his playing is cleaner now than it was in the fucking 80s. His
I
feet
think that's
especially.
I think that's fair, man. Yeah, like those. It's now like 10 years, more than 10 years old, but those like Yankee Stadium drum
Yeah,
cam videos, he's just annihilating
yeah,
effortlessly.
yeah.
It's fucking sick.
I saw him in New York on that the Mastodon and fucking I can't remember who else was there. I want to say it was like Children of Bodom or something.
Oh, jeez.
But it was. I mean, that was the last time I saw him. I think, and he was fucking ripping.
Yeah, man. I saw them do that like raining like actual raining blood thing in Chicago at some point. He was
Yeah, I
fucking
saw that too.
fucking great on that. They played like a full set and then they played all of Rain and Blood.
Yeah,
Just annihilated. That band that I'm sorry, that show had terrible fucking openers too. I can't remember who. Slayer I mostly saw with bad openers. Like first time I saw him was cool. It was Meshuggah touring for Chaos Sphere opening
that's
for Slayer. They only got a couple boos.
huh. I saw I saw Slayer with Mastodon and Converge. It was I think it was the year they did the Rain and Blood thing, the
Word.
actual Rain and Blood thing. So that was cool.
I really liked that first comeback album with Lombardo. I thought it was
Uh,
pretty furious. Christ Illusion.
yeah, I remember there being a couple good songs on there.
Yeah.
I need to go back to it because I was off in on a different fucking planet when that record came out.
Yeah. Um, it's got some real fucking stinkers, but it's got some raging songs, and it's got Lombardo like pulling out Cannibal Blast and all sorts of fun shit.
Yeah, I remember him blasting on it and thinking, oh, that's a different look for Slayer.
Yeah. Uh, the shit after that I thought was just plotting and boring.
Oh
The
yeah,
one after that, I
garbage.
can't remember. So when you're doing double kick shit, what's like? He's like a leg guy, right, Lombardo? What do you think of yourself as? Like, what are you mostly using?
I'm mostly using my ankles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
What
Uh,
does that feel like? Does it feel like the ankle actually moving or the calf moving or?
a combination of the two. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, I think Lombardo is mostly ankle now too. I think that's why back in the day he wasn't as fast
Yeah.
and wasn't as clean and precise as he is
Yeah.
now.
No, it seems like a hybrid to me where there's a lot of leg involved, but it's translating down to the smaller muscle groups. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Well, when you're playing that way, it almost kind of looks like you are using more of your leg than you actually are.
Totally. Totally.
It's not like if you're playing heel down and you're only you're
Yeah.
only
Yeah. Yeah.
that.
Yeah. No, for sure. No, I
Uh,
mean it's something I noticed like watching guys growing up. I was like, oh, their legs are moving, but they're not moving.
yeah,
They're going like, the thigh is like going like this kind of.
yeah, yeah. The big turning point for that, like figuring out that that's what the guys who are playing really fast were doing.
Mhm.
That it was a George Kalias YouTube video from like 2006,
Oh yeah.
and he's giving a clinic in like fucking in Holland or
I know
someplace.
exactly the video you're talking about.
Yeah, and he takes the pedal off the bass drum. He's using some pearl pedals, and he takes those
Yeah.
off, and he puts his Axis pedal on,
Yeah.
and he really starts flying. And
Yeah.
he says, I'm playing heel up, but my heel is low.
Yeah.
So he's still using. It's like I can't really quite describe it. It's like he's using his upper leg muscles to sort of keep it in place.
It makes total sense, man. I
And
know that for myself, when I'm going well, my heel is low. When I'm
yeah,
losing it or I feel out of balance, my heel is higher, especially on the left foot, which is the son of a bitch.
yeah, the weaker foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can remember 20 plus years ago trying to play faster stuff and being like, what the fuck? And then
Yeah.
realizing that, I was using more of my legs than I should have
Yeah.
been. Unless you're Derek Roddy. He's like the only dude I've seen who can fucking use his whole goddamn leg and still play 230,
Yeah,
250
dude.
a minute.
And he's fascinating because he did a Drumeo thing a few years ago where he's talking about his technique. And he's like, my right foot and my left foot are different. And I don't give a fuck. Like he's playing with different technique between his two legs, at least according to him. And he's just like, I just let them do what they want to do, and that makes a hell of a lot of sense to me.
But see, here's the other thing. Uh, Most musicians, especially like elite level musicians, as far as technicality goes,
Yeah,
can't explain uh, the physical aspects of what they're doing. You know,
absolutely.
they're not uh, fucking or not biologists, but you know,
I know
uh,
what you mean.
they it's like asking a professional NBA player like what are the mechanics of your jump shot? Like
Yeah.
what muscle groups are you using, and when do you know when to release the ball at just the right time in your jump? And
Well, what's fascinating is some guys will be able to give you an answer to that, and some guys will. It's just pure instinct. You know what I mean? Like, and I by and large think even if you're the sort of person who can answer that question when you're playing, it should be pure instinct. You shouldn't be thinking about your technique when you're actually fucking wailing, or you're gonna get in trouble.
well, yeah, I'm not suggesting that guys who play at that level are thinking about their technique. I think
Mm.
in the rehearsal room, they're like I've heard stories of George Kalias playing 210 beats per minute, 16th notes with his feet for an hour and a half.
He said this. It's not a story. I think it was back on the old Derek Roddy message boards. He talked about it. That he was like, I did it to see if I could learn anything. Basically, it's insane.
Which to me that was sort of the aha moment with my feet was I just got really frustrated at one point, and I said, all right, I'm just going to play as at a speed that's comfortable for as long as I can.
Yep.
And once I did that and realized that that was the thing where you just basically uh training to where you can do like 170 beats per minute for 10 minutes.
Yes.
I hate to use the word training.
That's the threshold, right?
I don't know what else.
170 170 tends to be where like you really need to get the ankles involved, I feel like, or you're going to be in trouble.
That's almost like the cutoff point. Like
Yeah.
that's third gear, and then
Yeah.
where you really get the angles involved would be like fourth gear, 180, 90,
Right,
basically
right.
on up from there. But being able to do 170 beats per minute for like 10 minutes, so you can do 210 for 4 bars.
Totally, totally. That makes perfect sense to me. Another thing in that Derek Roddy thing that's stuck with me over the years really strongly is him saying like endurance work and speed work are the same work. You know, like you're not learning how to endure, you're learning how to be comfortable so you can fucking play fast. You're learning like how to make your body do that in a way where it's not taxing.
Yeah. But there is also the thing of and I know I texted you this earlier, but the path
Mm-hmm.
of least distance. Like
Yeah.
if you're using crazy large muscle groups to do something, it's the same as like when you're playing up top, you're not
Yeah.
playing like this, you're playing
Totally.
like this.
Totally.
You know,
But up top, I want all this shit working behind that. I want my shoulder going to feed that wrist. You know what I mean? But it has to be a wrist motion at the end of the day. There has to be a torque and a whip to it.
yeah, it's not all here,
Yeah,
but it's it's also not
totally,
that
totally.
either. That just hurt myself doing that.
No, I totally understand. Like I'll play drums for 7 hours and then stand up and immediately hurt my back. It doesn't
Yeah.
make any goddamn sense. But no, I mean, and you've got obviously, or not obviously, well, yes, obviously you've got phenomenal feet, but also like one of the things I love about your playing is how lyrical you are, especially up top. Like you're one of the few dudes I know who can like lay it down viciously, but also play a fucking slick, pretty shuffle if you want to.
That's the cover band shit, man.
Yeah, right on.
But also being, I don't want to say a guitar player, someone who plays guitar and writes riffs.
You're a fucking guitar player. I mean, not as a pejorative, but like you write a lot of the riffs, don't you? For Arma.
I write a few of them, yeah. So when if I hear a riff, and even like just going back to like AC/DC and Led Zeppelin and shit that I played when I was a little kid, like I want the riff. I'm not listening to the fucking song for the goddamn drum beat.
For sure.
Like I want to hear. I'm listening to da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da,
Not
like that's what I'm listening to. I love Phil Rudd.
Yeah.
I think he's the shit. But
Yeah.
like he's there to provide the foundation for the fucking young brothers to fucking knock it out of the park
and to enhance the riff. That's what drums are supposed to do, right? Is like we're supposed to make the riff sing more by like going like let me accent here so you guys hear that the riff is doing something cool there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
I mean, even sometimes I feel like a blast beat is almost too much.
One thing I've sort of tried to do really hard with blast beats is to always have some sort of pulse or accent pattern in the right hand that's still playing the riff, so that it's not just a blast beat. There's still some sort of attentiveness to the melody going on.
Yeah.
But I fall into the same patterns over and over again, to be honest with you.
I mean, yeah, I'm the same. I sometimes I'll listen to our records and think, oh, I probably could have done a little bit more here. Just, just feel
but man,
right.
you do such interesting, cool shit. Like I was jamming yesterday. I was jamming the first song on what's the fucking fiery orange cover? What the fuck is that one called?
Soul for English.
Soul for English, thank you. And there's this section where you're playing this like super dynamic hi-hat blast where you're opening and closing the hi-hat, but you're also seemingly modulating your snare dynamic with it. Something's going on that's wild.
I'm probably not even really meaning to be as dynamic with the snare as I am.
It sounds like on purpose. It doesn't sound like it sounds
maybe
musical.
maybe I meant to do that. I don't know.
Well, anyway, it's fucking cool. And like I feel like you've got a really good natural instinct for how to do cool shit that's musical cool shit. That's not just look at me cool shit, but actually like look at them cool shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, just try and serve the song, serve the riff. As cliche as that sounds.
No, but it's first principles. You go back to it because it's fucking important and it matters.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys I feel like don't.
Yeah, what the fuck was I listening to? Oh, this if anybody watching this will probably be like, "Oh, fuck you or you breathe," and also I just sound like I'm contradicting myself. But I was listening to Symbolic the other day,
yeah,
and there's a couple riffs where Hoagland's like just doing this weird cymbal thing, and it's not even. It's like just play through the fucking riff. Not everything has to be this intricate cymbal dance.
He's a tickler sometimes, you know. He loves his double rides and his fucking his flash. But man, that record was such a fucking massive influence.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But I definitely listened to it the other day and was like, just play a fucking drum beat.
What's fascinating is, you ever heard the demos with Drum Machine?
Some of them. That was going to be my follow up. Did Chuck want him to do that?
He like, they couldn't get a good enough recording or something, so he was just like, so yes, I just programmed what I was going to play, and then I played it.
All right. Well, I mean, if that's what Chuck wanted, then so be it.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing seems a little silly for like pre-production, but it's kind of fascinating that he like, because I listened to those and I didn't realize that Gene made them. I thought Chuck made them, so I was like, oh, Gene's just like following this template, which is kind of nuts. But
so Gene programmed them.
Gene programmed them. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then that just goes back to my original point. Like, just program a drum beat there, not like intricate cymbal ride dance. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun, but you're absolutely right. I'm with you.
Again, I probably am. I Phil Rudd it too much.
I don't think there's such a thing.
Yeah, I guess as long as the riffs are good, then you're right.
Yeah, and Inter Arma has intricate enough riffs that even if you think you're Phil Rudding it, you're kind of not, because there's enough dynamism just baked in. You're not like going. I've never heard do ba for a long section of a Inter Arma tune. You know.
Yeah. I wish I'd like to have a song where I just did that for way too long.
My old teacher, when I was growing up as an asshole overplaying little kid, he made me play AC/DC songs, and I wasn't allowed to play fills, and I wasn't allowed to like hit any extra crashes. And it was one of the best lessons I've ever had in my fucking life.
It also seems kind of sadistic.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably sadistic, but like,
you're just a little
it was
kid.
What I needed, you know, like it got me out of overplaying. I mean, to some extent.
It still seems like a percussive child lashing.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't fucking Whiplash or whatever that movie I haven't seen is.
You're not missing much.
It looked weird, man, because it's like jazz, but it's not a jazz vibe.
It was all right. It was all
Yeah,
right.
I like what's his face, the teacher. He's a great actor.
J.K. Simmons.
Yep, that's it. I always
Yeah.
want to say Schillinger because that's his name on Oz back in the day.
Was he on Oz?
Yeah, he was like the gay Nazi.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You would remember that he's a gay Nazi.
Yes, I would.
I gotta rewatch Oz. I've rewatched The Wire and a bunch of other older HBO shows.
Oz does not hold up as well as The Wire, in my opinion.
Wire
But
was
the Wire is a fucking masterpiece. Oz is a little rougher around the edges, a little weirder in some ways that are cool, but sometimes shitty.
yeah.
You know, there's all those like monologues and shit.
I'm down with monologues.
Yeah, I can be. I can be. It depends.
I always loved that in The Wire. I think it's season 3. They talk about going down to DC, and I see either Stringer Bell or I can't remember which one of them says something about go go.
Yeah. It's it's not
That
cheese. It's
go-go shit. I was like, yes.
yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. I can picture the dude's face, but I can't remember his name.
Idris Elba. That said,
I don't think it's Stringer. I think it's Bird.
I can't
But I'm
remember.
not sure.
That's another one I want to rewatch soon.
Yeah, man. They put it out with like high def or whatever, which is cool.
Do you think anybody who's watching this would know what go-go is?
I mean, it's not impossible, right? We know what go-go is.
Yeah, but a lot of motherfuckers don't know what go-go is.
That's true.
Like, I'd say 90% of people in the United States don't know what the fucking go-go.
That might be that I know of it because like even though I wasn't into this shit either, I know of it through like, you know, like Ian MacKaye and, you know, like the weird connections between like harder music.
Yeah.
What's important is that we shouldn't explain what it is. We should let them remain in ignorance.
Anybody who's going to be watching this has access to the internet. They can fucking figure it out for themselves.
Yep. Yes, indeed. Yeah, my tens of viewers.
A couple more beers, I'll say something fucked up, and this will go viral.
That's what I'm hoping for. By the way, you already fucked this up. I had one stipulation for this goddamn interview, just a single stipulation.
What?
If you agreed to,
What?
you said you're going to wear your shorts.
Oh, well, I am wearing. Yeah,
those aren't your shorts.
They're not
I've
here.
seen those too, but like those aren't the iconic shorts.
They're not here. Well, when the new record comes out, we'll do another interview and.
All right, excellent. Yeah, because then we can talk about all that shit.
I'm not allowed to talk about.
All the shit we're not allowed to talk about. By the way, I have to. This is total non sequitur, but great irony of the cosmos is that you don't have my name because you know what Lev means in Russian.
What?
Lion.
Huh?
Lion.
Lion.
And you were the most lion-looking motherfucker I've ever met in my life. So you should be Lev. You know, it's an injustice. So what's your practice routine, man? What do you do?
Well, drink 4 or 5 of these.
Yeah, you like drinking when you're playing. I can't fucking do it.
No. I don't. I'm not like getting fucking hammered drunk.
No, I know.
Now, if I play sober, I play too fast. I overthink everything. I make too many mistakes.
Yep.
I actually have a routine. I will drink like 2 beers, like 2 hours out, I'll drink a beer. This hour in, I'll drink a beer. And then I'll usually have maybe like a half a shot 30 minutes before we go on stage, and then a shot right, like the band shot right when we start playing.
And then you usually have like a guy in your hi-hat. Who is he?
Yeah.
No, I totally understand that because I hate playing completely sober also for similar reasons. Not necessarily the speed, but like I'm in my head way too fucking much. You know, I'm
Yeah.
thinking about fucking up. I'm thinking about all kinds of things I don't want to be thinking about. But I like a little bit of weed as opposed to I like beer. Just makes me feel bad when I'm playing. Like it makes me feel sluggish. Like way before I'm even buzzed, I like feel it playing.
Yeah.
I think if I got used to it, it'd be fine. But I've never gotten used to it. What I've been doing lately, man, is macrodosing and playing rehearsals and shows, and it's it's fun. It's working great for me.
Did you say macro?
I did.
So what is that? How much is that?
Um, well, it depends, but like before rehearsal yesterday, I ate about a quarter.
You get a fucking quarter before you.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ! I could do that.
I really like it. Gets me completely out of critical headspace, and it gets me just to the joy of fucking playing drums. And I play. I don't. It's annoying. I don't play better, or I play my best when I'm tripping. Like,
Jesus Christ! It's it's way too it's way too fucking cerebral for me when I'm especially mushrooms.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Acid's a little different.
I actually think I could eat like a quarter hit of acid and probably play pretty well.
I'm sure you could.
It might get me too hyped because to me microdosing acid is like taking a fucking big rip of cocaine.
No, I mean
That it
there is
lasts.
like a weird stimulant upper aspect to hallucinogens that I don't understand, but is absolutely there. Like I get manic, you know.
Yeah, I mean I like it.
Me too, dude. And I don't like cocaine very much. Like it's not my deal. But I like the feeling of that from hallucinogens.
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
So besides drinking, what do you do for practice?
practice routine. Um, what do I do? I usually I usually will just play to myself, just play whatever I want to. Ah, shit. Hold on a second. Sorry, my battery's starting to die, but it's fine.
Okay. We can go as long or short as you feel like, by the way.
I can plug it in a minute.
Okay.
I'll usually just fuck around for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then put the headphones on and play to a click for. I mean, some days I'm just not feeling it, and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll say fuck it and just play by myself and just like go nuts and you kind of do like a 45-minute long drum solo,
Yeah,
which,
man. Fuck yeah, that rules.
which is
When
fun.
you like pre-click, when you that 5-10 minutes, is that just like getting loose, getting warm, getting things cooking?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll have ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a song on the new record where most of the song was based off of.
Hey,
Uh,
hey, hey,
well, I can say that.
hey. Damn,
I'm,
I don't know.
all right, well, let's just say some song ideas have stemmed from patterns I've come up with.
Sick.
But
Um,
but usually when I do sit down with the click, I depends on how I'm feeling. Like sometimes I'll start it right out of the gate, like 200 BPM,
damn, Doug. Okay.
and just like burn out for
Yeah.
as long as I can, and then work backwards, and then
Ah, very cool.
195, 190, 185, 180.
Do you have it set? I have mine set to do that automatically.
No,
So,
I'm too cheap to pay for the pro version where you can
dude,
program
it's
it.
like $2, and it's not a monthly subscription.
Does it look like I have $2?
But no, I have mine set up right now so that like it increases by a beat per minute every 30 seconds in
Yeah.
perpetuity.
See, I I don't think that would. I mean, I could try it, but I don't think that would hold my attention. I think I
Mhm.
would get bored with that.
I get bored. It's how I warm up. Like
Yeah.
I'll set it really slow. I'll start at 120, and I'll try to play with like ankle and calf at 120.
Hmm.
Uh, like forcing those muscles to work before they should be working to play, and I'll just kind of cruise until I have to start thinking about it, which is like around 170 when I have to like really engage, and by then I feel pretty loose and I just want to play drums.
That works. Yeah, I mean, some days I'll sit down, especially if I'm playing regularly. Like if I've played for 3 or 4 or 5 days in a row,
Yeah,
I'll sit down and I can fucking go.
yeah.
But then sometimes I'll be trying something specific. Uh, there was a song on Soul for English. It's the last song on the record. It's the song Soul for English,
Mm-hmm.
where 2 or 3 times in the song I start from a completely dead stop, and it's a
Oh,
tempo,
sick,
it's like a polyrhythmic shift.
sick.
Uh, and I don't know about you, but starting from a dead stop is my Achilles when it comes.
I feel you so hard. I if once I'm cruising, I'm
Yeah.
comfortable. Starting and stopping is miserable. Um, but yeah, I wanted to ask you like those days where it's not just coming, whether it's where you don't just sit down and fly. Like, what's your process, and both mentally and physically for like getting yourself to a good place?
Um, some days I'll just get up and leave.
Yeah, fair enough, man.
Like
Yeah,
if I'm just playing like shit, I'm just like, fuck it. I've been I've been doing this long enough to know that tomorrow's another day. I'll
yep,
be fine. You know.
yep. I feel you.
Uh,
Although sometimes I get in my head like, am I just bad now forever? You know, like,
but if I do want to push through it, usually what I'll do is I'll back the metronome way down to like 160,
word.
170 ish, whatever,
Yeah,
and just do like 20 minutes there,
yeah. That
which
that that's that's what works for me.
and that almost like not only takes you out of that whatever negative headspace you have, but then you're just like pushing everything so hard that you're completely gone, which is nice as well.
Yeah.
And then be like, okay, now I'm okay now.
Yeah, no, I totally feel that. Get into that like almost zen place with it, where you're just pushing it out and you're just going,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you realize that like your legs aren't cranky anymore, but you actually feel comfortable.
You know what I love? And every place we've ever practiced, it's never been climate controlled. The last place we were at was to a degree. Like there was an AC unit in there,
Mhm.
but you'd have to like put it on high and turn 8 fans, 8 box fans on high to get
Right.
enough movement to actually make it cold in the room. But I would go in there in like July or August, and it's fucking 90 degrees outside, no fan,
Sweat.
no AC, and just play as hard as I could for an hour. So
Yeah,
just
just drenched.
dripping sweat, but you're so loose. And I actually, if I could do that once or twice a week, that would be fucking fantastic. Because I love doing that. Like that's when
No,
I
that
feel
makes
best.
that makes tons of sense to me, man. It really matters. Like climate shit like that has a really weird effect on like muscular motion. Um, and yeah, I agree. Like those sets or those rehearsals where I'm like dying hot are also where I feel best. Where like I feel completely in control and completely loose and good.
Yeah, you get to like the first 2 or 3, maybe 4 rock block songs, And for us, it's always like a couple fast ones right up front,
Yeah.
and then hopefully a slower one where I get a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
And all I need is like 20 seconds of
Yep.
just slow. And then
Yep.
after that, I'm like, oh, all right, I'm ready to fucking take on the
Oh
world.
man, it's funny how much it's like we've talked about a bunch of fucking music shit and whatever, but we never. I don't think we've ever had this specific conversation, and so much of what you're saying resonates. Um, like even at rehearsals, like like I'm playing in this band Ruinlust these days, which is just fast, like grindy death metal, and the first song at rehearsal is a fucking struggle fest. And then I'm eating shit and like trying to get my speed going, and then it blossoms, like
Yeah, that's that's actually something that I need to figure out sooner than later. And I've never really been able to figure it out in the past.
Mhm.
But there's some other things coming up that I can't talk about, I guess. Uh, fucking just like right out of the gate.
Yeah,
How do you get to the point where you can just sit down cold? I mean, I guess it's the same as everything else. You got to be able to like play for 2 hours straight, and then when it's like you're training
yeah,
up here,
yeah.
and then you just sit down and you're here, and you're
But
and you're
it's that cold part, So for me, what I try to do is like warm up religiously before, but I'll tell you, it doesn't work that well
it,
because
well
adrenaline completely fucks up the equation. Like my nice controlled foot pad work
out the window.
backstage goes out the fucking window
Yeah,
once I'm raging. But at least at least it provides a comfort in my brain that I have played drums that day in some capacity before I hit the stage. You know, I mean, what I'd fucking love, and what I'm sure you'd love too, is like what Metallica has, where they have a whole full fucking rehearsal room backstage at their fucking shows. So they can just literally play before they go out.
but even that, it's still not the same, like you said, as playing in front of a crowd. And
It's not the same, but that's as good as you can get. I feel like that's as close as you're gonna come.
like if I could have a sauna where I could rehearse in,
Yeah,
that would be ideal. That would be the only way I could really truly get warmed up.
yeah, no, that makes sense to me, man. It really does. Because it's both about playing drums, but also about is the body literally warmed up? Like, are you like locked up or not? I mean, I
Yeah.
played one show, and there's a thermostat on the wall, so I know how cold it was. It was like just above freezing in the room, and it felt bizarre. Like because I kind of warmed up, but it was like a cold sweat.
Where was that?
That was at this place called the Knockdown Center here, and we were in this like weird like middle room that wasn't really a venue room, so there was like no climate control.
Oh, we've played there for the Desert Fest last year, year
Oh,
before.
word, yeah. So there's like a real stage that's nice. We were in this like weird art gallery space.
Like yeah, the little room.
Yeah, it was like a little white room somewhere.
Okay, yeah, yeah. There was bands playing in there that day as well.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was cool. It sounded shockingly good for like the architecture of the place, but it was it was obscene, like fucking literally freezing.
Well, that sounds like fun.
It was fun, man. It was a great show. It was Gary on, Bearing Teeth, Artificial Brain.
That's pretty fucking stacked lineup.
Yeah, man, that was a good night. Man, those are some sick fucking dudes. Well, it was Keith, who I guess is no longer with us in our RDB, but great fucking player. And I'm blanking on dude's name in Bearing Teeth, but fucking awesome guy, great
Jason,
fucking drummer. What's up,
Jason,
Jason? Thank you. Yeah.
the keeper of the illegal beats.
Are you talking about his chronicles?
Dude,
How
he's
he writes everybody's shit down.
no, I don't know about that. What are you talking about?
He has notebooks, man. He'll like go to shows, watch drummers, and like transcribe what they're doing. You're probably in his notebook. He said I'm in his notebook.
I'm probably not in his notebook. It's just Phil Rudd blast beats.
That's not what you do, you fucking jackass.
Have you heard that new Bearing Teeth record?
It's fucking phenomenal. I listened to it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
I
I
think
guess
maybe you told me how good it was. I think maybe you told me how fucking good it was. But
maybe I
anyway, it
did.
rules.
It's fucking incredible.
Yeah, that's just a great fucking band.
But he has the illegal beats. I John Rice had never heard of them or seen them,
Okay,
and they played in Richmond with Piron.
okay,
I think it was Piron. I can't remember.
it would check out.
But anyway, fucking, I was like, John, watch this guy, and he's like, yeah, whatever. He's seen everybody, and he's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, yeah, no, that dude's obscenely good.
He watched watched Jason, and his jaw just hit the floor. I was
Sick.
like, illegal beats. He's doing things that you should not be allowed to be doing.
All right, that's what you mean by illegal. Because like
There-
we have like a vocabulary of like forbidden beats, like the white boy beat, the do do ba 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 do ba.
No. Like
You mean like things that people should not be allowed to pull off?
yeah, like things that don't make sense, but that sounds so sick.
Yeah.
Over the fucking riffs. It's like, all right, well, you got me. I mean, you shouldn't be doing it, and I don't know who gave you the green light to be doing that, but you win, sir.
Yeah, no, it fucking rules. But yeah, that was a fun fucking show. How high do you sit?
I just recently went up a little bit. I always
Yeah.
I always tried to keep my thighs either parallel or a little bit above parallel, and I went up a little bit more.
How's it feeling? Cool, man. I actually just went down a little bit.
Yeah.
Was you did a thumbs up and there was like a thumbs up bubble that just appeared on my fucking screen out of nowhere. Now it's
Yeah, it's fire.
oh, this is the stupidest shit. Are you just gonna keep doing this now? But you've been using them tricks for about 1 billion years, right?
A little over a decade, yeah. Like,
That's sick.
yeah.
You're
And
just
I ruined myself.
for anything else.
When I play on other pedals now, it's just like really it's just longboards. Like
Yeah.
I figured out that I need the longboards. I wear a fucking size 13 or sometimes.
Dude, I need a longboard and I don't have big feet.
Yeah, it's fucking the longboards ruined me.
Have you checked out I've got the Darwins, the strap drive Darwins going on.
Now what the fuck is that?
They're fucking awesome. It's this one guy in Austria he makes like direct drive and strap drive pedals. And they're fucking beautiful. Like just awesome. Here, I'll try to like I don't know if you can see, but like it's the easiest spring adjustment mechanism I've ever encountered. It's just a dial in the middle of the pedal. And I mean it's as easy as the tricks, but unlike the tricks, you can see where the spring tension is.
Yeah.
They're just I don't know, man. I'm in love with them. Like it took me a while to get used to them after because I played strap for a while and then just couldn't find a good like modern strap pedal basically. So I've been on chains or whatever. Going back to strap took a little bit of adjustment, but I fucking love these things.
Strap. I mean, I used strap for a long time. I had some old Tama pedals when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Or I had one. I had a what did I have? I had a Slingerland Speed King and then a Tama strap. It was like
Oh man.
mid 80s. That's what I had. That's what
Two different kicks.
Yeah.
So you've always been two kicks.
Two bass drums. Yeah. Dude, my dad fucking ruined me at an early age. I had I had two kicks, four toms, and two four toms.
Oh man, living in luxury.
I guess. I mean, he kind of ruined me. But
I
yeah,
uh
it's cool.
I'm not a good enough tuner for two kick drums.
It's 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 tough, but also it's one of those things like don't beat yourself up if you have two kicks and you're trying to get them to sound the same
Yeah.
because it's a never ending losing battle.
Yeah,
It's
no, I hear you.
it's two pieces of wood. Like I can get them real fucking close, but it's it's wood. It's not complete. It's not 100% consistent. So it's not
Oh,
one,
dude, for sure.
one's going to be more resonant than the other. It's just how it
I,
is.
I remember I was using two kicks on like at least on the first Crow record. Is two kicks, and like my kicks were literally a serial number away from each other off the assembly line. So as close as they should be able to fucking get. And Colin's a fucking masterful tuner of drums, way better than I am. He actually gives a shit. I don't give any kind of a shit. And he couldn't get them. He couldn't get them to be identical.
Yeah,
Just
I've only been able to do it a handful of times,
Mhm.
and like I have played guitar long enough and can sing well enough to where I can hear pitch pretty well, so I can listen to the pitch. And I have like I have a method for it, but
Do you
I
use any tech for tuning?
any what?
Tech like drum dial or one of those things?
I tried to use the drum dial for a while, and I could I actually used it on the toms, and I got good
Mhm.
results out of the toms,
Yeah,
but I could never get the kicks uh, dialed in. So and now I just do it by ear and by pitch,
right on.
and
How
I
often do you tune your shit?
not often enough.
I mean, I don't.
Yeah, dude, once you get 200-watt Marshalls with distortion and and jack off out front, screaming and hollering over top of all of it,
He
and
hit me
everybody
up earlier, by the way. I
and
told him
everybody
I told him I was sorry he wasn't invited.
huh?
I told Mike that we were doing this and he couldn't come because he didn't hit things with things.
He hits the microphone on his forehead a lot.
That's fucking true. All right, that's percussive. He should have been here. Fuck.
It's something, all right.
That's what he told me that Trey kicked him out.
Yeah,
I said that sounds like Trey.
yeah. That's mean.
um, do you ever fuck around with triggers? I know you don't. You don't like. You don't use them live, and you don't use them on recordings. It sounds like. Do you ever use them for practice?
No, I don't even have like anything.
Yeah.
I don't have a module. I don't have
Yeah.
the actual triggers themselves. I don't have shit.
Yeah. Me neither.
I've sat. I'm not anti-trigger, by the way. I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
for what I want out of a drum sound on a record and live. Are you double vaping right now?
Yeah. It's a digital split. I got the weed and I got the other thing.
I
And this thing is
sort of
fucking
figured.
sick. It's got like a like old like you remember those old Tiger handheld video games?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's got like a battery reader like that. So like, can you see that?
Uh huh.
I'm in love with it. Um, no, I'm not anti-trigger either, but I think there's a lot of value in like hearing what the dynamic between your feet without it being flattened. You know?
Yeah. I've tossed around the idea in my brain, at least,
Mm-hmm.
of getting triggers just for monitoring purposes.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I sort of like uh, the self torture of having two 24-inch bass drums.
Oh yeah, they're 24s. Shit.
Yeah.
That's insane.
They're 14 by 24, which
Yeah,
is
but
the
that
fuck
doesn't affect like.
is it absolutely affects it.
Oh, really?
100%. Why do you think it's so much easier to get a snare drum to get the energy going in it as opposed to a larger rack tom or like a floor tom?
I never thought about that. I've only thought about the like width, not the depth, in terms of
So,
like ease of play.
so the depth has a lot to do. Basically, when you hit the batter head, that air is moving to the resonant head,
Sure.
and if it's a shallower drum, it takes less time to get that head to move, and it also takes less energy because there's less space in between the two, so you don't have to hit quite as hard. Or if you just do hit hard anyway, you're going to get the drum to be
More resonant.
creating more energy. Yeah.
Oh man, that's dude, that's fucking fascinating. I've never
So
thought about that.
which is
I'm just
it,
over here with my 20.
and I mean, it sounds cool, but you got to crack the fuck out of it to get it to really do its thing.
Mm-hmm.
And with a 14-inch depth, and I would say with 22, 24, or 26, it's kind of the fucking ticket. Like
Interesting.
you
26
don't.
is fucking obscene though.
It's too much.
Yeah, like
I,
that starts to be like I can't fit my kick through doors at the gig, you know?
I used the 26 on that last Full of Hell run, and
Oh man. Yeah.
I was like,
By the
oh,
way, you sounded fantastic on that run, if I do say so. You
I,
guys
that,
you guys in general sounded great.
that was one of the roughest playing wise tours for me ever because dude, that 26 was whooping my ass.
I did. I can only speak for the night I saw, but I wouldn't have imagined so. You seemed like you were cruising pretty fucking effortlessly. I know that's never the internal process, but that was my impression.
Well, I mean, after a few shows with it, and I realized I have to play 20 more shows with it. Well, I'm stuck with it. I
Yeah.
can't change anything, so might as well just mentally get used to it, which is what I did. But
What do you feel like the tension on the batter head has a large effect on your comfort kicking?
oh yeah,
So
all of that. I mean, I'm always a big advocate of tuning a bass drum up, not crazy high,
yeah.
but definitely not like the Lars Ulrich finger tight. Like that's I don't like that sound, and also I just don't like how the drum feels. And
Sure.
also, you don't tune you don't tune any other drum that way, and I don't understand why the bass drum is treated so much more differently than all the rest of the kit. You don't put a fucking pillow in a snare drum. There's they
It
don't
makes sense.
they don't sell snare heads with all this external muffling on it.
That's fucking true.
Like why
It's a good point, man.
why
I,
is
I kind of see it as the kick being an impact attack thing, not a tonal thing. You know?
but there is still tone
Mhm.
even when it's super low, even when it's like
That's
finger
fair.
high, there's still a note there uh prior to what any fucking jack off sound men and like fucking Saint say about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just when you tune it up, you get more attack, you get more punch, and I feel like you don't have to hit the fucking drum as hard to get it to go.
Sure. So, like, in this scenario where you're stuck with this fucking 26, did you crank it a little bit more to try to make it a little more comfortable?
It wasn't so much a comfort thing at that point. It was more how do I make it so that it's as easy to play as possible.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, did
Yeah,
you crank the tension to make it easier to play?
I yeah, I definitely I had it kind of where I would normally tune a 24 at first, and it sounded fucking awesome.
Mhm.
But it was also just so goddamn bassy and resonant that when I would try to do anything fast, it just sounded like a blur. So I tuned it up a little bit more, and I put a couple shirts in there because let's face it, who's going to buy those Under Armour shirts anyway?
You mean you're
And
fucking like, oh man, you guys kill the shirt game. Like you're fucking the Morbid Angel ones and the fucking I can't think of what else right now, but everything's clever and good.
well, they fit in that 26-inch bass drum real nice.
It's a 26. Anything's gonna fucking fit in it. You can
Yeah,
fit in
I can park a Cadillac in there. It's gonna
it. So when you're at a show and you're in it and you're in that struggle where you're like, God damn this fucking thing. What's your headspace? What are you trying to do in that moment to function?
just think, no one cares anyway.
That's a very healthy thought. Your experience at like the shows where you're like, I've never been more dog shit than I was tonight, or the shows where somebody goes up to you and being like, that's the best you guys have ever sounded.
Every time.
Yeah, what the fuck? I don't get it, man. But you're right. It's really healthy, I think, to get on that nobody gives a fuck wavelength. And if you don't give a fuck, you're kind of set. At least I'm set. Like the less I give a fuck in the moment, the better I play.
Well, I think it's important not to give a fuck in the healthy way.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. I can only speak for myself, but I know that giving a fuck has done terrible things for my mental health over the years.
But yeah, certainly if you're talking about in a broader sense of things, it's
Well, I
never.
mean, drumming. Like,
Huh?
yeah, no, you shouldn't give a fuck about anything, but especially not music.
Yeah. Like there's definitely a big part of me that fuck the audience, but also, they did pay money, so I gotta care a little bit.
Yeah, but like, if you go in with that fuck the audience vibe and you bring that aggression, you're giving them their money's worth.
Yeah. Usually, like, here's a great example. So sometimes before we go on, somebody might be in a bad mood. It could be
Yeah.
me. It could be anybody.
Could be Mike.
Could be Mike. But usually, sometimes I'll throw in the hot for teacher thing first, just to sort of like take the piss out of everything right off the bat.
You were fucking with them mid song at the show I saw. It was fucking phenomenal.
Oh, I mean, depending on what's going on, I'll throw in a fill that's completely fucked up. Like sounds like
I
you're
feel
throwing
like you're like fainting, hitting a cymbal or something, like trying to get somebody to go with something that wasn't there. I can't remember.
I'll do that to Steven all the time. Like I'll start hitting the snare so far off into the galaxy it doesn't even make sense to anything. Just to make everyone laugh.
Yeah, I mean, it's fucking important, right? If you're laughing up there, you're gonna whip.
Yeah. Let me yeah, let me make sure. I'm gonna plug the phone in real quick. I gotta get started. Oh,
No, all right, you win.
oh.
All right, now you're just showing off.
I've had some beers.
Oh god.
Put that there.
What is going on in that shirt?
Fucking cool shit. Oh, you fucker. There we go. It's
Oh yeah, that's pretty sick. What is it?
Mikey who records us. It's
Oh,
it's
sick.
his it's his crazy like surf rock psychedelic fucking spaghetti western band that he had.
Sick.
They're called Holy Mountaintop Removers. They were fucking
Oh,
awesome.
I feel like I saw them.
We brought them on tour once, and I think they played Vitus with us.
Yes, yes, I saw it. It was
Yeah,
great, man. That dude, I fucking love his production. I love the way he makes your drum sound for one, because they sound like drums. They're really
we
clear and clean, but they sound like fucking drums.
we lucked out finding him finding us, however you want to put it, because
You
he's
used it for everything, right? Basically, since you found them.
yeah since Sky Burial, and
And
he's
does he do does he do theremin on your shit, or does John do theremin on your shit?
John plays theremin on the records for the
Work.
most part. Yeah, finding him just a fucking godsend.
What's the studio experience like for most of your shit? Like, you guys, how do you do it? Are you tracking individually, or?
Yeah, everything's done track by track.
Mhm.
The drums are usually done at a nice studio with like a good sounding room and a nice
Mhm.
mic and
Oh,
mic
so
pre.
he rents the studio?
Huh?
He rents the studio.
Just for the drums.
Work.
And then he does well, he used to do everything at his house, but he sold his house and bought an
Work.
RV and he's
Oh,
been
cool.
country fishing.
That's so sick, dude.
But the newest record, which we can't talk about,
Mhm.
was done here in town.
Oh, sick. You
Yeah.
didn't have to go. You didn't have to go to Nashville.
Now he came to us this time.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seems like a fucking wonderful dude from the little I've interacted with him, and I feel like he gets it,
Oh, he's a dude.
like just gets it, because I don't know, I feel like an old man, but I'm so dismayed by most modern, especially metal production. It's just like I feel like players have never been better, but I never disliked the way the drums sound as much. They're just it's just sound replace fest, and it's these guys are killing it. They don't need it.
Man, I was just talking to somebody earlier tonight, and so a band that's pretty popular that
Mm-hmm.
that I know. I heard their raw tracks when they were in the middle of recording.
Yeah,
It was fucking ripping.
yeah,
We're talking like top level guitar playing, drumming, everything.
yeah,
And I heard the raw tracks and I was like, God damn, this is fucking killer.
yeah.
And then
And
and then
they re-
and then they sent it off to get mixed by big name mixer,
yep.
and it just sounds like every other fucking record. It's like,
Don't fucking
oh,
understand, and I don't get.
like you're both incredible players. The whole band is incredible
Yeah,
players, and you just go and fucking quantize it and
yeah,
make it sound
yeah,
like every goddamn thing else.
yeah. It's like you didn't need this. You didn't need the fakery. You were
What's
killing it, and it was human and real.
what's the fucking point of practicing and getting good at your instrument if you're just gonna put it in a machine anyway and make it fucking sound perfect? Just let AI write it or whatever.
And I don't know. Perfection is so deeply boring. It's so uninteresting.
And it had so much personality, and it just sounded like a couple dudes in the room fucking just going.
Well, like, yeah, man, that's a bummer. But I'm not shocked in the least. Like, that seems to be the way of things. I don't
I
know.
don't get it. Have you ever seen the Dimebag video of him probably drunk and he's naked with a towel wrapped around his head? and he's talking about what we're talking about right now.
No, I haven't seen that one.
It's fucking great, and you know it's at least 20 years old at this point.
Sure.
And he's like, you can put it through the Eventide harmonizer and put it perfectly in tune, and then knock it right back out of tune.
No, man,
But
it's crazy. And some people use crazy tech for cool purposes. Like I remember, I'm not a huge fan of nowadays Meshuggah, but I remember some documentary on like maybe the making of Kolos or one of those records where they just took the whole thing and just shoved the BPM down. Just took the entire recording and took it down a few notches without fucking anything up. It kind of blew my mind. And it's like that's valid,
yeah,
but I guess that's different. I don't know.
I wonder what their reasoning behind that was, because there's lots of Inner Arma songs and records that I listen to and I go, this is way too fast. It sounds so when it's so fast.
I usually have the opposite vibe listening back to stuff. I'm like, God damn it, this should have been faster. I was lazy.
Different strokes.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys record to a click?
Only the songs, like usually the songs where there's lots of percussion.
Mm-hmm.
I'll usually record to a click, just because I know there's going to be like 10 billion overdubs.
Right, and you don't want to be. Yeah, I feel you.
Makes it easier. And then there's been a couple instances where the songs weren't completely written.
Word.
So I would just like play drums to a section and then play drums to another section.
Gotcha. That's pretty awesome.
Like we all knew how the song was going to go, but there were certain little variables that we didn't know that were going to fall into place once we recorded. So it just, for editing purposes, it makes things way fucking easier.
Yeah, for real. No, but that's really interesting. You use it as a tool when you need it, but it's not religious.
Yeah. Well, the live feel always, like if you listen to our records, I speed up in the choruses and I slow down in the verses, and
As it should be.
you know.
Like no, there's tons of subtle tempo modulation, some of which is clearly on purpose, and some of which is just feel. And I like that a lot. Like I like when players surge and flow with the vibe of the song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes it more musical.
Yeah, I love it when a blast comes in. Like it could just be the same riff.
Yeah.
The blast and it goes up like 5 BPM and just
Absolutely.
like
Yeah.
makes you fucking lose your brain.
Or something. Another Derek Rowdy thing I remember him talking about years ago, which is a cool kind of opposite thing, was he was like, I like the double kick parts to be a little bit slower, like the sparse hands, fast beat parts. I'll go down a couple beats per minute to make them have more impact or whatever. It's just fascinating to me.
I can hear that.
Yeah.
Like on fucking King of All Kings, Hate Eternal. I love that record.
That's the best Hate Eternal record.
Yeah, I think that record fucking rips.
I mean, the drum performance on it is just insane. I wish there was videos like he made all his videos for I Monarch, which are fucking killer. But I wish there was a set of videos for fucking King of All Kings floating around.
But definitely on that record, I can hear that. Like once like it kind of he'll be blasting and it'll drop down into the 16th note kick part.
Yeah,
and you can hear it go down like 3 or 4 BPM.
Yeah, it's not a lot. It's a nice subtle thing. Man, what a fucking player. That record's, I love the first one too, with Tim Young as like a kid. I think he was like 19 or something.
Yeah, he's super young. Speaking of him, I listened to the Morbid Angel Eye record the other day.
Oh, really?
start to finish. I listened to the whole thing.
Yeah.
It does not hold up.
It's such a shame because besides having a ripping drummer, they had that dude, what's his name? Destructor from Mirkskog. Do you know that band?
I don't know that band, but that guy's a really good guitar player. I saw him with Morbid once, I think, or twice.
Ripping. But Mirkskog is the shit. Like, check out Superior Massacre. It's it's phenomenal death metal, just unrelenting, interesting, dissonant, like out of this world. Great fucking drumming too. It's like it's that early 2000s vibe where all the sounds are faked or fake, but it's not quantized.
Yeah.
I kind of love that vibe. You know,
I'm
super free, but yeah.
yeah, I doesn't hold up. Even even the death metal songs. So I can remember at one point being like, they're not that bad. They're not good.
I love the Tucker return.
Mm.
And
That record,
guy who played on that when I saw them live was great. He was playing very Sandoval esque. Like he not only one footing, but like he kind of had that like
the
giddy up.
bounce.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's good. I've seen him twice now with that guy.
They got another guy now. A dude from Incantation, I want to say. I
That younger dude?
think
Or
yeah, he's not OG Incantation for sure. He's not uh Kyle, was that his name?
I that's a Mike question. But yeah, I thought it was the same guy, but fuck, I don't know.
um what kind of shit are you working on these days?
Uh,
Like what's your projects like, project when you go in the room?
I mean, I haven't really been working on anything since we finished writing, recording the newest record. I've kind of been taking it easy. I actually didn't even really play guitar or drums for like all of the holiday season.
Oh, nice.
It's nice and it's not nice.
I know it's not nice when you get back to it and you're like, God damn it. But taking some time away, I think, is pretty healthy, honestly.
Yeah, and I definitely last year, towards the end of the year, right before we recorded, I was kind of burning the candle at both ends.
Mm.
I wasn't kind of burning the candle. I was burning the fucking candle at both. I worked all through the recording, and
Oh man,
like there's a couple days where I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning and I'd go to work until 10,
Jesus
and then
Christ.
record, and then sometimes go back to work for a couple hours for after recording for 8 hours.
And you're doing physical work too, right?
Painting houses, painting apartment units. It's not
Yeah, that's
the most physical. It's not like
no,
I'm
but I mean it's not sitting at a fucking desk either.
no, but I'm not digging ditches either. So
Sure. It could be worse.
yeah. So yeah, kind of took a break, but I've been slowly getting back into it. And also, I don't you probably don't know this, but I'm in the basement of our house, which is where me and my lady live. We
Sure.
rent out the stairs, have a detached garage out back. I'm
Ooh.
getting ready to start. It needs a little bit of repair work, just a little bit, and then
Sure.
I'm gonna start soundproofing it, and that's gonna be our studio, my studio.
Dude, that's the dream right there. Holy shit.
Yeah. So
That
when you come through town next time, that'll be done. That'll be our fucking. I can have bands there and rage all night long.
oh sick. Oh,
We can
by the way, I think
record there.
I'm coming through town in February, with Ruin Lust.
When is that?
Like fourth or fifth.
Okay, cool. I'll be here.
Sick. I'll let you know for sure. I never know where I don't know if you pay attention to these things, but I never know where I'm going on tour ever.
I usually have a rough idea, but that's about
Yeah,
it.
yeah. But I had to look for some other purpose, and I saw Richmond on there. So
Sweet.
it's Ruin Lust in this band, Diabolical Oath, who I think are younger guys. I'm not sure. They seem very nice, and I like what I heard.
Cool.
Death
Do you
metal.
know where you're playing?
Is a name I didn't recognize. It wasn't the Strange Matter.
Cobra Cabana?
Maybe it doesn't. That doesn't sound right, but I can't remember, man.
Right. I'll figure it out.
It'll probably be some digi spot. These bands don't draw.
I mean, if it's death metal, dude, this scene here is pretty fucking happening right now.
Richmond seems like it's been fucking fertile, man. Like
It was sort of on the downhill side of things for a while, and then oddly enough, like since COVID, it's just hopped way back up.
oh, sick.
There's been tons of shows. Every show I've been to has been well attended, even if it's like bands that I've never heard of, which is most bands. But fucking yeah, it's been good.
Well, that's awesome, man.
The couple Richmond shows that we played were all really good.
Are you playing with anybody else these days?
Just the country band,
Oh, sick. What's the country band?
Old Gun Road.
Okay. Is it's OG or sorry, originals or
Yeah, it's all original.
sick,
We
man.
do like a
Do you have
Willie Nelson.
anything recorded?
Yeah, it's on streaming and all that shit.
Okay. Fuck, I'll check it out. Because I do love me some fucking I suspect the kind of country you're doing is the kind of country I fucking love.
Yeah,
So
it's all cocaine country, outlaw country type shit.
yeah, because we've talked a little bit about Chris Christopherson, I feel like.
Yeah. And I sing and play guitar in that band.
That fucking rules.
Yeah.
I've never heard you sing. I've heard you rip on guitar before, just sitting around.
You're lucky you've never heard me sing. It's not.
Yeah, but that's the country way too. Like Chris Christopherson does not have a particularly good voice, but he's got a fucking great voice, you know?
And he's a killer songwriter.
He's a fucking amazing songwriter.
Well,
One of my favorite.
He's one of the best.
Yeah.
Period.
I mean, like we were just talking, like your favorite song is "Don't Touch the Fiddle," which is a fucking amazing song, but not even my favorite on that record.
Here we go with that conversation again.
I just, I mean, it's the point. The point is like you can't go wrong, you know. So many good fucking choices, endless good fucking music.
I love the Willie and Waylon version of that song.
Shit, I don't know the Willie Whalen "Don't Cuss the Fiddle." I gotta check that.
It's
Not
it's
the
on,
Highwaymen, just Willie and Whalen.
yeah, it's on the Willie and Waylon record, the first one. It looks like it's carved out of leather or whatever.
Sick.
But that song has one of my favorite lines of all time. We cussed him to the ground and said he couldn't even steal a decent song.
Steal a decent song, yeah. And soon enough, we wish that we were wrong, right?
I want someone to cuss me to the ground.
I think the message of that song is fucking. It's an important message. You don't pick her having trouble. It could be you. You know, could be you.
I think there's a lot of messages going on in that song.
Yeah.
It's almost like pick your own adventure, but to me it sounds like just don't talk shit.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Which is good. That's important, right?
Some of the most important life advice you're ever gonna fucking get.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
But also, we're all fucking stealing from each other constantly. That's the way it works. That's how music works.
We're all assholes in this shit pile together. Don't fucking
absolutely.
Don't think that you're any better than anybody else.
Absolutely.
Using the
my
same...
only objection is when like I only have a problem when bands only steal from one other band. You got to steal from at least 3 bands to be an original band.
I think you got to steal from like 10 bands.
I don't think you need to go that high. I
I
think it's
think,
better if you do, but I'll take 3.
yeah, I don't know.
Just like one, you know, like what's the fucking band that like their logo looks exactly like the Intune logo and they sound exactly like early Intune with no innovation whatsoever. I can't fucking remember. But
Every new death metal band.
yeah, fair. Fair.
Yeah, I don't. I could be anybody.
Well, shit, man. I don't have much more to say here. I think we've done some pretty fine work.
We've covered some ground.
We covered some fucking ground, and we'll do this again when things happen
When
down the
things
road. Yeah, we'll talk all about it,
word.
dude. Thank you so much for fucking indulging this absurdity and sticking with the like 7 hours of technical difficulties before we actually got shit going.
It only took us an hour and a half.
Only an hour and a half. It took us the length of how long we've been talking to actually get talking.
Hell yeah.
But no, man, this was really sick. It was a total pleasure. And like I said, you're one of my favorite idiots and one of my favorite mad genius drummers. And it's great to pick your brain about some shit. Aw. Aw. All right, love you, man.
I'll see you February 4th or 5th.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
All right.
See you soon.
All right.